Thank you for that. Glad that I did not unmute the mic. So I'll start that over. Welcome, everybody, to the second quarter 2025 GXC Town Hall. For everybody who's been part of this, thank you for showing up again. For those of you that are new here to GXC within the last 3 or 4 months or so, this is a really good opportunity for us to be able to share with you exactly what goes on within GXC across the board. A lot of what I hear is that people within the organization do not know what we do, and it's nice to share this information with everybody so everybody knows, again, what we do, where we do it, how we do it. So that's what these town halls are for. So again, if you're joining us, good evening, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I think it's 7 o'clock in the morning for Guam and Saipan. So thank you for getting up early and spending some time with us here. It's important to me that we are proactive and transparent in our communication and that we share with everybody everything we possibly can to help you understand what we're doing for you, what we can possibly do for you, and where we're going here in the future. Again, the goal of this is to make sure everybody understands who we are, what we do, where we do it. So keep the communication flowing. As these come up for the third quarter, we didn't really get a lot of questions this time around, which is fine, I suppose, but I'm sure there's a lot of questions that you all have out there. Don't be shy about submitting them. If we could answer them in an open forum, we absolutely 100% will. I want to be sure to give you guys every bit of information I possibly can. So again, for those of you that have been part of these town halls, I always start them out the same way. For those of you that are new, what we like to do is just kind of give a brief background about GXC, how we started, because it's important to know where we're going, got to know where we've been. GXC was started formally in January of 2018, informally in August of 2017. So we're approaching 8 years old here pretty rapidly. And over the last 8 years, we've managed to grow into a pretty large and dominant organization who really holds a lot of responsibility for keeping a lot of people safe in a lot of different sectors. We have 3 primary divisions that we operate here. We have our protective security division, we have our countermeasure division, and then we have our business office. I'm going to quickly go through each one of those divisions and those programs to let you know exactly who's who and who helps run the show here. So our protective security division, what we do in the protective security division is we provide security personnel through a couple different verticals. Number one, our cornerstone is a Smithtown Library contract out here in Long Island, New York. That was the first formal contract that we won, and we've had that since about October of 2019. Then we moved into the Broadway realm, and we've been protecting Broadway's theaters for better part of 4 years, going on 5 years now. Primarily, the biggest driver, though, of the protective security division is our federal government contracting force. So our protective security division director is a man by the name of Jason Martinez. He comes to us from the Department of Homeland Security with 30 years of investigative law enforcement experience, and one hell of a leader. And he's got a great team that works with him. Our Holtzville, Long Island contracts headed up by Stephen Martinez. Our Delaware contract manager is Tara Barrett. Our Broadway contract manager is Chris Urbina. We have 2 subcontracts that we work with out of the U.S. Virgin Islands, led by Mr. Albert Peterson for the island of St. Thomas and Pedro Sosa for the island of St. Croix. And then all the way out in Guam and Saipan, we have Jesse Mendiola leading the team in Guam and Kevin Barbuda leading the team in Saipan. Jason and the team are supported by 2 wonderful professionals. Kelsey Robertson is the Protective Security Division Administrator. I'm sure if you're in our Protective Security Division, you've spoken with her quite a bit. And then she's assisted by Megan LaCourte. So that team primarily runs the entire division. They make up a majority of the 450 to nearly 500 employees that are within GXC. So they're a big customer-facing side of what we do. And as you heard, tremendous footprint all the way from the Pacific Islands back far to the Caribbean and a lot of different places in between. So our protective security division has armed security officers who are responsible for protecting federal facilities nationwide. Next is our countermeasure division, which is led by Joshua George. The countermeasure division is responsible for conducting field service work for the manufacturer CHEA, who is the market leader industry leader, in metal detection and weapons detection technology. We consider them a very close partner of ours, and we have technicians that are responsible for installing metal detectors, conducting maintenance on detectors, um, as well as x-ray machines as well. Josh is supported by Shaylin Pitkin, who is our field services manager. He's responsible for helping coordinate with the clients to get them set up for our technicians to arrive in tandem with their equipment. And he's assisted by Nicole Shanks, who is the logistics and operations coordinator, helping getting our countermeasure technicians all across the country. Also within the countermeasure division is our technical operations side of the house. This is a pretty large piece of what we do, and really where we hold a tremendous amount of responsibility for protecting millions of people throughout the globe. So our technical operations manager is a man by the name of Chris Kruger, and he's assisted by Nate Bicker and Cameron Dietrich, who's the technical operations administrator. So what technical operations does is GXC has a fleet of over 500 metal detectors now that we place nationwide. And really internationally here, which I'll explain in a little bit. They're ultimately responsible for ensuring that the clients who choose to have us protect their venue get the technology that they need in a timely manner, as well as assign the technicians who are going to be responsible for placing that technology and ensuring that all of these events have weapons that do not make it in. And then finally, our business office is led by Matt Hempfling, who's our chief business officer. And he works alongside Kevin Tayo, who's the director of sports entertainment, Lane Sands, who's our Southeast account manager, Tony Pelosi, who's our quality assurance specialist, and we have Allison McHenry, who assists Matt in some of the government procurement stuff that we do, RFPs. So that's the business office is really how we create business and opportunity to be able to grow our team and grow our responsibility for protecting more people around the globe. And we're bringing on somebody new here. I'll wait till the next quarter to announce him once he actually starts. So the business office, what they're responsible for is finding venues, whether it be schools, stadiums, arenas, concerts, any type of event that have a need to keep weapons out of their space. And we'll work with them to either sell them the equipment, rent them the equipment. That's kind of where the transactions take place. And they work, again, internationally. A lot of customer interface there, just helping push GXC forward. And of course, the operations components supported by the finance division, headed up by our chief financial officer, Jesse Cavazos, and Wendy Romanello, who's the director of finance, Elizabeth Niles, who's the financial administrator, Brittany Johnson, who's a payroll specialist, and Maria Corbett, who is our financial administrative assistant, who just joined our team here recently. They're the ones that make sure that you get paid, the bills get paid, and the lights stay on, and we continue operating. And then finally, last but not least, human resources, our new human resources director Leah Croce, who's assisted by Bree Moore, who's an HR administrative assistant, and Brittany Crosby, who's an HR administrative assistant as well. I'm sure some of you at some point, in some shape or form, have interfaced with some of those folks to make sure that you're getting paid, your personnel files up to date. They hold a lot of responsibility for making sure that our people stay paid, happy, and healthy. Also want to highlight a man by the name of John Peck. He's our quality assurance manager. He's the one that essentially I utilize to help go around and test what it is that we do within our organization and make sure that we're actually doing what we say we do. My nightmare fuel as a CEO is going to a customer and saying that we're doing something a certain way and we're just not doing it that way, right? That's not good. You don't ever want to call your brand something that it isn't. So John helps me do independent sort of third-party analysis through all the different divisions just to make sure that, again, we're delivering on what we said we would. And Angela Washington, who I want to thank, who's my executive assistant here, helping me put this together, which we'll talk about her here in a moment. So over the last 3 months, specifically in May, we've expanded again, and we added 42 new team members to our organization who are responsible for protecting the federal facilities on the islands of Guam and Saipan. Again, it is about 7:10 a.m. in the morning there. So good morning. Glad to have them on the team. It's certainly a heck of a place to go. I happened to be able to go there for the contract start in May 1. Pretty cool trip to be able to go out there, and it was like a 24-hour flight, which wasn't great, but just awesome to see that side of the world, and a great group of people that have just joined our ranks. And I couldn't be more happy to have them here. And I appreciate you all already for being amazing professionals, as that contract is immediately, the moment it started, just operating really, really well. And I'm really proud of you folks out there. So keep that up. We in the countermeasure space have required a lot of hiring for countermeasure technicians, because we're trying to keep up with the demand. Right now, we are the market leader in metal detection equipment, in renting equipment and putting it out in the field, and it's not even close. So because of that market pacing that we own, we have to make sure we have enough people to be able to go put these detectors out there, provide a good service and good support to a client, make sure that their systems are operating as designed. So we've had a lot of growth and hiring in the countermeasure field. I want to commend them, because over the last 90 days alone, our technical operations team, in tandem with our countermeasure technicians, have performed over 75 different events in the last 90 days. You think about that, there's only 15 days out of those 90 that we haven't had something going on. That means there's a lot of people moving around in a lot of different places, and logistically, it is a masterpiece and a clinic that's put on by Chris Kruger and Cameron Dietrich and Nate Bicker to get all of those events scheduled, moved, and have our technicians out there, and by and large doing a great job, because we've had no issues with technology not working as designed, or not having our equipment arrive as it's supposed to. So really, really impressive work by that team. Over the last 90 days, we've deployed over 1,000 different detectors amongst those 75 different events. So, I mean, the same units being put out multiple times over, being moved across the country. It's really, really impressive. Some of the events that we've protected in the last 90 days alone, just to kind of give you all some background: the NFL draft, the University of Texas commencement ceremonies, where we put over 80 metal detectors there alone, the Indianapolis 500, which is another set of about 90 detectors, 350,000 people into that venue in one day. It's the single largest event in the world, and we're responsible for making that happen. Quick aside there, if you're new, we started that in May of 2023. It had never been done before, and we had a lot of great success with it, and we continue to protect it year after year. We also are working along Live Nation in Toronto, multiple NASCAR races around the country, music festivals, corporate functions, you name it. If there's a large gathering, for the most part, it's going to be GXC that's out there helping protect that. We've not gotten into the personnel or the people side of that protection. We kind of keep it with the technology for right now, because it's very difficult to scale up and provide the same type of professionalism that you see when you look across the table at some of our other GXC Protective Security Division members. It's hard to scale that up in cities where you're not established. So we keep it about the technology. We work with vendors and security companies to help them better understand the technology and just keep that event safe. Something really cool that's coming down the pipe here in September, with the National Football League's calendar getting underway. We've secured the rights to be able to protect the NFL's opening game in Sao Paulo, Brazil, where we'll be sending, I think they're actually already in transit, 60 to 70 detectors to help protect that game. So we have a pretty important standing on the globe here in keeping people safe, and it's not just here in America. So really proud of the footprint that we've developed and what we've managed to be able to do. One of the big pushes right now, it's not really felt so much in the Protective Security Division at the moment, but eventually will be. I'm really getting big into digital transformation, because I want to continually try to find ways to shave seconds off of our people's lives in whichever way we possibly can. So we scaled in the first 6 years under incredibly manual circumstances. And, ultimately, when you start creating manual processes, if you can't keep up with the scale and the manual processes become overwhelming, well, then your quality drops and your customers will go seek something elsewhere. So we were forced to make the digital transformation into Salesforce. In the long term, our Protective Security Division, where I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with TrackTick, the system that we use for your scheduling, for your post inspections, for your report writing and all that. It will find its way also integrated into Salesforce. But for the countermeasure division and the business office, they're really bearing the brunt right now of that digital transformation, and they're doing a tremendous job. We went live in Salesforce in April of 2025, just under 3 months ago, and we're slowly getting our paces there now, and hopefully the team is starting to recognize some of the benefits of being a bit more efficient. Over the last 3 months, also, Angela Washington was responsible for developing a SharePoint called GXC Connects. It's a SharePoint-based internal platform used to centralize communication and resources for employees. I want you to use it, okay? It's a very important hub for information. Again, a lot of the complaints that we hear is, nobody tells me anything, I don't know anything. GXC Connects is a way for you to get a lot of important centralized information delivered in one spot, so you can know what's going on. Further with the digital transformation, I do want everybody to know we have one more implementation we have to do as a large organization, which we're preparing for now. We will be moving to ADP. I've come to just realize that all of this piecemealing different platforms together and hoping that each one will do what they say it's going to do for us, and it's got to come to an end. And, you know, I've been stressing the organization out by delaying going to ADP. And now I'm not going to do that anymore. We're going to go to ADP, and our HR, our learning management system, our performance management system, and our payroll system will all now be integrated. And again, will then feed into Salesforce so that when a team member is onboarded, their skill set, their certification, anything that is a testament to their knowledge base or their skill set as it relates to their job will feed into Salesforce, which will then enable them to be able to perform certain jobs, tasks, functions, and whatnot. And when we're onboarding and offboarding with a click of a button, that person can either be brought on or brought off, and trying to remove all those little silly manual touch points that we have, because it's 2025. We have to step into the digital age here and really just embrace technology. And that's going to be a very important transition for us. And I ask for everybody's patience. I ask for everybody's understanding that the goal of this is to finally get everything centralized underneath one hub. ADP will offer something similar to GXC Connects, but I don't know exactly how long that might take for ADP. So in the meantime, please use GXC Connects. A lot of really great information on there for you. And again, the link will be sent to you in a recap email to this town hall, because there's a couple of different things we want to share with you in that email. May was our mental health and substance abuse awareness month. For those of us that have, faced the throes of mental health, I've never been shy in talking about it because I think, honestly, it's a lot more prevalent than we ever would admit. Mental health's important, and substance abuse needs to be treated and helped. And in law enforcement, military, and these types of professional backgrounds, a lot of those two things, they appear in a lot of different ways and circumstances. It's our job to take care of one another. So use those resources. They're there. Again, if you see a teammate in need or a team member in need, make sure you follow the appropriate channels to help get them the support that they need. All we got is each other here. Okay. Payroll, another realignment here. Payroll is now going to be underneath HR, and all payroll related concerns should be submitted via the HR provided link on GXC Connects. So again, get on GXC Connects. So if you're having an issue, you can pass it to HR via payroll. We are going to be bringing on some people to help us with payroll. I don't want to say some people, it's a person, to kind of help the transition and kind of ease that a bit. So yeah, please make sure you're using GXC Connects to submit any HR payroll-based issues. Again, Salesforce continues to be in development for all aspects of countermeasure and business office operations. I want to share something with you all. As we've grown quite a bit and our responsibility has increased all around, it's my job as a CEO to kind of surveil and survey the land here and kind of see what we're doing, how we're doing it, and whether or not it aligns with our vision. I put something together that I wanted to share with everybody. This will be attached to that follow-on email. where I kind of just went back and I recaptured what is it that we did? What was the mindset we had to get to where we're at? I'm not expecting everybody to be all rah-rah and ready to charge that hill. I get it, right? Days turn into weeks, turn into months, turn into years, and different people have different fires that flame at different temperatures and different degrees. So I know it's not for everybody, but I would not be who I was if I didn't share with you all exactly what I believed is paramount to our success here. It is titled the GXC Way. Okay. These principles define how we uphold our standards of excellence. As I went back and I thought about the way we built and the things that we did at the certain times that we did them to kind of overcome obstacles and just refuse to fail at any point, I narrowed them down into 10 different principles. And here they are. Number 1, chase the perfect day. I'm not telling you to chase perfection. Nobody's perfect. You'll never be perfect, but you can catch a perfect day. In order to do that, you got to be excellent every single day. And what is excellence really? Right? Showing up on time in your appropriate uniform, that gets you a paycheck. We've talked about that before. But being excellent is really, it just boils down to 2 things, your attitude and your effort. Can you do what you're responsible for doing day in and day out and understand what's at stake if you don't do the job the way that you're supposed to? Right? We never stop chasing that perfect day. You might catch it. And those days, I live for those days. Okay. The second one is you're free to rebuild anything. And this includes everything. What I hear a lot from organizations that have grown stagnant is, well, this is how we do it here. Well, this is the way we've always done it. That lacks imagination and that lacks purpose. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I nail it or figure it out every single time, right? And that there's only one way to do anything. So if I hold that to be true, I expect everybody else to hold that to be true. Now, there's only so much we can do in certain areas of the organization when it comes to rebuilding anything or everything, right? If you're an FPS officer in one of those federal facilities and you're staring at post orders that are 2 years old and you've been telling FPS for 2 years, like, hey, these post orders are dang old, like, we need to fix them. Like, that's not something you can do. Now, you can report it, which I hope you would, and then we can bring that up to FPS, but you're not going to be able to reimagine that, right? But what you could possibly reimagine is the way we report information internally, the way we conduct inspections internally, right? The way we're chasing our post-tracking system numbers, the way we're chasing the waivers, right? I try to tell people, look at the gaps. Look at the gaps that we're facing and understand why that gap is there and how the heck we close it. And everybody's opinion matters. I'm not the smartest person in the room. I've never been. What I've always understood is that when we work together as a team and collaboratively and people are free to share their ideas, somebody's going to come through and they're going to nail it. They're going to crush it. And we're going to close that gap and we're going to get better day by day. Number 3, never drop your pack. You are not done. I don't know about you all, but every now and then there'll be something that just is just bothering me back here. And I put it off, I put it off, I put it off, I put it off. I could give you 20. And I'll tell you that at no point when I ever ignored those things did it go well, right? You got to fix it now. Fix it now before it gets out of hand. Number 4 is probably my favorite and most important out of all of these. Oftentimes, I feel that we're naturally siloed in this organization based on the work that we do. Every now and then, you'll find yourself alongside a couple different teammates, whether you're on a post in a large facility that has multiple posts, or if you're a countermeasure technician that's doing a large event, right? There's multiple people there. Those are automatic force multipliers. They're baked into the job. What this one speaks to is if you're on a post alone and you're having a problem, don't sit on it. Call someone, ask someone, say something, speak up, help your own cause. If you're a senior manager, if you're a middle manager, if you're, a teammate, doesn't matter. Just call someone and bounce perspective off them and you'll be surprised what you get back. I think what I see a lot of times is that folks are afraid to speak up because they believe that if they open their mouth and they remove all doubt that they might not know what they're talking about, that somebody might look at them poorly. As the leader of this organization, I've never looked at somebody when they've asked me the same question 5 times. I've never looked down on them, ever. Because I'd rather you ask that question a 5th time and get it that time than never ask the question a single time, and then it compounds on you, and now you're bearing the stress and the pressure of that problem, whatever it might be, and you're just sitting with it alone. You're not alone, ever. If you're not asking someone for help about any specific problem you might be facing, no matter how small or how big you think it is, you're hurting yourself, okay? Be rehirable every day. What does that mean? So Netflix has a model where they do performance evaluations and they look at their team and they say, if I had to hire this person again right now, would I? That's a pretty tough approach, right? Because all of us, I want to say, think that we should all be rehirable, right? I think I should be rehired every day, but who's to say? Who's to say? Really what it boils down to is what I talked about before. Do you have a good attitude? Are you trying? That's the bar here. If you have a good attitude and you're trying, that's how this place was built. Nobody here, especially, I was never a CEO before this. I was a law enforcement officer and a Marine. I did not know what I was doing as a CEO. I still learn every single day. And up and down the leadership team, we have people that weren't actually classically trained or educated or experienced in the jobs that they currently hold. We tapped into the hunger of the person. We tapped into that attitude. We tapped into that effort. And we put people in positions where they rose to the occasion. That's how you be rehirable. Don't look at a problem and say that's not mine to solve. You look at a problem and you want to join the team that's going to help fix it, okay? Number 6, making mistakes of the mind and not mistakes of the heart, because there's a huge difference here. Mistakes of the mind are things that occur every single day. You forget something. You're supposed to send an email at a certain time. You were supposed to clock in at on PTS at exactly 8, but it's 8:02 now. Oh, God. But, you're sitting there scribbling on your 139s or your 1103s, right? You were helping others get clocked in. You were doing whatever. That's a mistake of the mind. A mistake of the heart is really what has no home here. A mistake of the heart is somebody that honors themselves before the team. And what I mean by that is, if you're negative, if you like to place blame, if you like to talk about the problem more than the solution, those are mistakes of the heart. And what they do is they kind of hurt everybody. They bring everybody down. There's no nobility in complaining. There's a ton of respectability in helping solve the problem. And as long as you're trying, you will make mistakes of the mind, which I'm okay with. But typically a mistake of the heart is directly connected to a lack of effort or a poor attitude. They're all connected here. Number 7, solve. Don't fuel the flames. Who caused a fire is not important while it rages. You will never, ever see me look to place blame. And to all the leadership team in GXC, if you're watching, we don't care about blame. Not in the moment when there's a problem to solve. And blame itself is a word that I don't even like using at all. Because a mistake of the mind could cause you to have fault. But if you think it's important that you must make it known that somebody else screwed up, you got to fix your heart. Because again, if trying is synonymous with making a mistake of the mind, then you don't want to blame someone and throw them under the bus. That's not the type of place we want to have here, okay? We're not focused on punishment. We're focused on improvement. And number 8, we take volunteers, not hostages. If you're unwilling to lead, take ownership, or take responsibility, that is fine. But this place is not for you. You're free to go find your peace. Those of us who remain will be fine. And that could sound a little bit callous or a little bit terse, but I mean that one. If you feel like you're unhappy here and you have to be dragged to work, I want you to go find a place that you feel that you'll be able to connect a little bit more with what's important to you. Okay, that doesn't mean we're better than you. It doesn't mean we're worse than you. It means all we want is for people to try. Do their best, be innovative, be supportive, try to find a way to solve the problem, not to mock it. And if I got to drag you along, or we got to drag you along to solve the problem, it's not going to work out. The only thing you're guaranteed here, folks, is change. It will be different next year. It'll be different here next week. We move at the pace or the speed of opportunity for improvement, not comfort. We are all about getting better. Our responsibility in standing in the protective field is so important that we cannot even start to think about resting on our laurels and admiring ourselves in the mirror as to how we got here, right? Everything that you've done to get here has got you here, but if you want to go further, you got to do something different, okay? Sometimes things are not going to change, okay? It's because they might not have to. We're not going to fix a wheel that isn't broken, but we will shape up a wheel or retread a wheel or plug a hole in that wheel if we could make it a bit better, and we have to know the differences. And finally, number 10, use what's in your hands. The nail doesn't care what hammer you use. Solve with what you got and then swing hard. Again, that's an effort. That's an effort-based one right there. These 10 principles are how we built this organization. And again, you'll be shared this document in a follow-on message here so that everybody has them. But these will be posted in every single GXC space we have because I want everybody to completely understand what we're about. I don't want there to be any mystery. And when you see somebody not modeling this way, well, then I think you know what to do. We are an organization of growth and development, folks. It was very important to me from the moment we started this place that we tried to create pathways and ways for people to develop so that they weren't stuck where they're at. Now, can we nail that for everybody? No. Do we try? Absolutely. Do we innovate in that fact or in that effort? Absolutely. We want people to grow and we want people to develop. You have to think about it like this. If you're no better this year than you were last year, most people expect a raise annually, so you want more, but you're the same, right? I'm not saying it has to be big, massive, sweeping changes. Again, we have different people at different stages in their career path, different stages of their development, different stages of their ambition. So it's not for everybody. But if you find yourself at the dawn of your career or in the middle of your career and you're looking to do something more than you've done, it's just as much on you as it is on me. And we've invested the resources here to be able to help people develop. But it takes both of us. It takes you and it takes us to be able to help that happen, okay? So some of the career pathways that we're working on right now, the Protective Security Division just finished a PSO advancement policy, which will, again, be shared after this town hall, that's going to outline two things. Number one, we're working on helping unarmed officers who work on our Broadway contract who do not have law enforcement or military experience in their background to help transition to be able to apply and be awarded with armed security employment and opportunities. Okay, that's something that we've been working on for quite a while. A little bit more difficult to do than I think we thought, but every day we inch closer. There's also a policy for the pathways to federal security contracts. So right now, as I said, we have security contracts in New York, Delaware, Maryland, U.S. Virgin Islands, Guam and Saipan. I think that's it. And we're growing, and there'll be more. We've got a couple in the hopper right now, New York City, South New Jersey, the New England region, Kentucky, Massachusetts, Austin will be going in at the end of the month. There's a lot. We're always looking for new opportunities to help grow and expand. And every day, every single day, I will choose somebody that's been part of this organization before I go out on the street and hire somebody I don't know. Every single day. But you have to put yourself in a position to help me do that, to help us as leadership make those decisions, to help Jason make that decision, to help Chris on Broadway make that decision, to help somebody get to that next step in their career path. Okay? We're doing what we can, and we will do what we can. The rest has got to be on you. You have to commit to your own growth and development. That's a requirement. Keep in mind, too, again, we don't demand anybody's perfect. We don't demand everybody come to us with the appropriate certifications, skills, and licensure and all that out of the gate. We'll help. We'll help. We prefer progress over perfection. So if you're making progress towards these goals, fantastic, right? That shows that we can invest in you. If you're investing in you, we're going to invest in you. And again, if you've put yourself in a position to align for one of these opportunities for career growth, 100 times out of 100, I will choose somebody who's been part of this organization before I go and hire somebody outside. Okay? So that includes, moving around to different divisions and different opportunities, but you can't be a protective security officer who's never had any account management experience and then apply for account management position in Phoenix. You have to make a compelling argument somewhere, somehow, right? You have to show that you're marketable. What we see a lot is we'll put jobs out on Indeed or, all these places for recruiting, and we got people that are applying for these jobs that don't meet the bare minimum skill set, just hoping to get lucky. They're wasting their time. Don't waste your own time. If you want one of these opportunities, line yourself up for it. It's the reason why I share all of the divisions and what each one of them do in the beginning of this, is because I want everybody to know what's out there. If something interests you, you can target it. Reach out to your leadership and I'm sure they can help you point to some resources to get you on a path to developing a skill set of something that might interest you if it's not something you're doing now, okay? Everybody's job is to help everyone we can, okay? Want to do some employee recognition and shout-outs. Over the last couple months, had a couple different awards that were given out, and I'm going to read them here. So we had Chris Urbina, who was given our Exceptional Leadership Award. Again, Chris is our Broadway contract manager. He's been with us since the start of our Broadway contract, which was in September of 2021, and he runs that contract incredibly well. So he was given the Exceptional Leadership Award, and that honors individuals who demonstrate extraordinary leadership through actions that go above and beyond the call of duty. This award recognizes leaders who support and uplift others, build strong teams, and drive excellence in the workplace through selfless service, thoughtfulness, and dedication. And Chris certainly has done that. We also created a new award for two team members on Broadway who helped somebody that they didn't have to, and showed a tremendous amount of compassion for somebody. And we created the Karen Grace Award. The Karen Grace Award honors GXC teammates who demonstrate exceptional acts of compassion, empathy, and human-centered service. Inspired by a heartfelt moment that brought joy to a young woman with special needs, this award recognizes individuals whose actions create profound, positive impacts, particularly for those in vulnerable or underserved communities. This award is a reminder that grace, in action, can be a transformative force, changing lives and inspiring others to lead with kindness and intention. And that was given to James Makish and Anthony Crassus, two of our Broadway armed executive protection officers, And finally, there's another award that we've been giving out called our Prime Performer Award. The Prime Performer Award celebrates employees who demonstrate excellence in action, whether it's through remarkable customer service, a standout moment of collaboration, or consistently going above and beyond. This award serves as a tangible way to honor those who embody the organization's highest standards. And we had a couple awarded here over the last 2 months. Jeffrey Nielsen, Werner Blakely, Evan Cortez, Bill Niles, and Camise Smith, who got it in back-to-back months. The standard for that is a client has to reach out unprovoked and say something absolutely fantastic about you and your performance and your effort and your attitude. And it's a pretty high bar to meet because I'm aware that some might say, hey, can you do me a favor, drop a line to my supervisor telling them that I was great. There's a certain bit of conviction that somebody has when they write these things off the cuff, from their own desires versus when somebody asks them to do it. So Those prime performers, they get awarded when the customers really take the time to go above and beyond and explaining how our people went above and beyond. So congratulations to those folks. Well earned and well deserved. As we bring this town hall to a close here, I want to share something with you all, which is going to be pretty interesting. In November 24th, 2025, I will be boxing. I will be in a fight for charity. It's the Long Island Fight for Charity organization, where I will be fighting a 3-round match against another person who's also fighting for charity. And going to be raising money again to help families here across Long Island. And then everything above $10,000, giving it to a veterans foundation. So I'm trying to reach a goal of $25,000. So if you could pass that along to anybody that you feel might be willing to help donate, that would be really appreciated. The fight will be live streamed. So if you want to see me get punched in the face, and who doesn't want to see their boss get punched in the face, right? If you want to see that, there's the ability to purchase a pay-per-view. That can serve as a donation, but that'll allow you to be able to tune in and watch the fight. It'll be, again, November 24th here in Long Island. I've been training pretty hardcore because I'm not trying to get knocked out in front of my company or my kids. So, yeah, would really appreciate everybody's support there in helping me reach that goal. And it will culminate in me fighting, which will be fun. I just want to take a moment to really highlight the responsibility that we have and the purpose that we're all trying to work towards here, okay? Our job is to keep people safe, bar none. Day in, day out. Whether you're showing up to a post, whether you're unpacking a metal detector, whether you're helping consult with a school district who's rolling out metal detectors for the first time because they're looking to screen children or students as they walk into a school, you're here for a reason, okay? You make a difference. Every time somebody walks into that federal facility to get their services that the government has guaranteed them and they go home safe, that's a testament to you doing your job. Every time someone looking to decompress goes to an event, they get in safely, they go home safely, that's a testament to what you do. For the HR, the finance, the back office folks who don't have that customer-facing experience every single day, those folks can't do what they do without you doing what they do. Excuse me. Those folks can't do what they do without you doing what you do. Okay? You're just as valuable in this purpose and in this fight because wherever you find GXC, it seems like we're in some very, very important places. This month, we're helping with MetLife Stadium for the World Club Cup. Thousands upon thousands of fans almost every other day into MetLife Stadium, out of MetLife Stadium. Right? Like we're at the doorstep of keeping a lot of people safe or being responsible for people getting hurt. And I never want people to forget that responsibility. Okay? When it gets monotonous, when it gets routine, remember, you could be doing anything, but you're doing this. So do it well. And do it like somebody's life is at stake. Because if it's not someone else's, it's certainly yours. If you're an armed security officer, if you're one of our protective security officers in a federal building or an executive protection officer on Broadway, every fight or scuffle or incident you get in, there's a gun there, guaranteed. Right? It's real life. So don't forget that, please. I respect everybody here highly, as we are all protectors in one way or another. And that's what's made us who we are. Being pure protectors and not being shy about it. Not feeling silly about it. Because as long as the wolf's out there, they're going to need us to kind of keep them at bay. Okay? In every vertical, in every building, in every event. Don't forget that. As always, I'll be making my way around the country, saying hi when I can. Again, if I don't get to see you so often, please understand it's not that I don't want to. Again, we're approaching 500 teammates worldwide now. And my attention gets pulled in a lot of different areas. So I appreciate everybody's patience. When you do get to see me, please say hi. Don't be shy. I always make the joke that everybody wants to see me, but nobody wants to see me because the moment I show up, everyone's like, well, say hi. Say hi. Um, again, we're not asking for perfection here. Choose excellence. Choose your own pride. Be somebody that is going home worth talking about to your family. Okay? We couldn't do it out without you. So keep the ideas coming. Keep the communication flowing. Let us know what it is that you need, what we can do. If we can do it, we will. So I appreciate everybody showing up for the town hall. The next town hall is going to be in September of 2025 here in 3 months. When you see the request for questions come through, get some questions in there. Again, if they're appropriate for a large scale of people, I'll ask them. I'll answer them. No problem at all. Again, keep an eye out for the follow-on email. That's going to include the links to the GXC Connects, the fight, the policies, and all that. And don't be shy. All right. Thank you, everybody, for your time. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Really appreciate you. And we'll see you out in the field. Take care.